The story of Alexander the Great. In the records of history, not many names sparkle as splendidly as the legend of Alexander the Great. A man whose name alone inspires visions of massive armies, great conflicts, and the unwavering quest for glory. Alexander the Great is a name that has echoed down the centuries. A man who turned into a living example of ambition and conquest. From the ferocious wars of his childhood to the soaring heights of his imperial conquests, Alexander's life is a testament to the limitless potential of human desire and the unstoppable march of fate. Join me today on an amazing trip that will expose the secret story of the unstoppable force known as Alexander the Great, the warrior prince conqueror. Born in 356 BC, this young Macedonian prince went on to become one of history's most powerful conquerors. He was taught by the philosopher Aristotle, who instilled in him a love of study, military strategy, and philosophy, and from an early age, he showed remarkable promise. The assassination of King Philip II places Alexander on the throne at the age of 20. Alexander, whose destiny was foretold in the stars, received the Macedonian realm from his father, King Philip II. But no one realized that this prince had a burning desire to attain prominence outside of his kingdom. Alexander had exceptional leadership qualities and a voracious curiosity from a young age. His ambition had no boundaries. With an army of faithful troops, he set out on a conquest that would transform civilization. Alexander envisioned a globe united under his dominion, a vision that would propel him to the far reaches of the earth in search of glory. Aristotle sowed the seeds of ambition in Alexander's heart, encouraging him to aspire for the stars and seize the mantle of grandeur that awaited him. However, greatness does not come without sacrifice, and Alexander was determined to pay any price to realize his aspirations. With Macedonia's strength at his back, he set out on a quest that would take him to the far reaches of the known globe, to countries untouched by Greek civilization and overflowing with immense wealth. Crossing the Hellespont, a conqueror's odyssey begins. The Hellespont, a narrow strait that separates Europe and Asia, becomes the threshold of destiny. Alexander's brave decision to cross it with an army of 40,000 warriors paved the way for a collision of cultures. The very waters seem to whisper secrets as the young conqueror embarks on an odyssey to challenge the unimaginable, the vast Persian Empire. The Battle of Granicus, baptism by fire. As dust clouds rise over Asia Minor's plains, the Battle of Granicus begins. Witness the clash of swords, the roar of hooves, and the birth of a legend as Alexander confronts the Persian satraps. Victory here is more than just conquering. It is the creation of a leader whose military genius defies convention. Egypt beckons, the pharaoh's coronation. Alexander marches into Egypt, a kingdom in desperate need of freedom, leaving a path of conquests behind him, where the people welcomed him as a god and honored him with the title Pharaoh. His triumphs were unrelenting, and his techniques were unrivaled. The blazing sands witness the rise of a new pharaoh, a foreign conqueror who is greeted as a savior. Behold the majestic metropolis of Alexandria emerging from the desert, a tribute to ambition as tall as the great lighthouse that would later grace its shores. Battle of Gaugamela, the decisive clash. Enter the Gaugamela battlefield, where fate takes on its ultimate form. The battle between Alexander and Darius III becomes legendary. Despite being greatly outnumbered, he leads his forces to a spectacular victory that will be remembered for all time, because to his tactical genius and steadfast will, Darius ran away. This is a moment when one man's vision rises above the limitations of mortal ambition and becomes a legendary tale, a triumph of strategy, fortitude, and pure daring. Surrounded by chaos, Alexander demonstrates strategic brilliance as he assumes the title of King of Kings and ascends to the Persian emperor's throne. Alexander's gaze shifts eastward now that he has conquered Persia. Crossing deserts and mountains, he journeys into the enigmatic realms of Central Asia and the Indus Valley. The seductive aroma of spices combines with the thrill of adventure as our hero forges ahead, leaving an unforgettable mark on the sands of time. Roxana's embrace, love and loyalty. A love story unfolds amid the noise of conquests. Alexander's marriage to Roxana, a Persian noble princess, represents cultural fusion and cross-border relationships. Alexander finds comfort in the arms of his sweetheart, but approaching obstacles threaten to put doubt on their relationship. The Gordian knot of intrigue, betrayals and rivalries. As Alexander's empire grows, so does the level of discontent among his generals and soldiers. The thrill of success fades, replaced with the sour taste of rivalry and betrayal. Amid murmurs of conspiracy and treachery, the foundations of an empire established on one man's dreams begin to crumble. The uncharted depths, the Battle of Hydaspes. As Alexander pushes beyond the end of the known world, crossing the Bees River, his warriors begin to doubt the limitless desire that drives them. Witness the hardship of an army stretched thin and yearning for home, as well as the steadfast drive of a leader who sees no end to his victories. At the Battle of the Hydaspes, Alexander's soldiers confronted King Porus's powerful army, which controlled the country along the banks of the Hydaspes River. King Porus led a troop that included war elephants, posing a formidable threat to Alexander's cavalry-heavy army. By now, the Macedonian soldiers had been on the march non-stop for years, through many hardships, conflicts, and hard terrain. The soldiers resisted the idea of moving farther into India, where they would have to deal with unidentified obstacles and a strange landscape. They were growing weary, and their spirits were dipping. It is said that at the Bees River, Alexander's army mutinied, and his soldiers expressed their unwillingness to continue the march further east. The Bees River became a symbol of resistance for the tired soldiers who refused to proceed any further. Alexander, seeing his army's sentiments and realizing the logistical problems of pushing deeper into India, grudgingly agreed to retreat. This decision marked a turning point in Alexander's conquests, as it was at the Bees River that he abandoned his plans to reach the Ganges and explore the eastern extents of the Persian Empire. Instead, he decided to return journey to Babylon. The Bees River flowed crimson with the blood of warriors as Alexander's army clashed with the forces of King Porus in one of the most epic battles of antiquity. However, his ambitions ultimately led to his downfall, the tragic fall. Despite his accomplishments, Alexander's story took a terrible turn. Alexander died at the age of 32 from an unexplained illness. At the height of his power, beset by tiredness and a wounded spirit, his health began to deteriorate quickly. He died suddenly, leaving a vacuum that could never be replaced. His empire disintegrated after his death, igniting a power struggle among his generals and marked the end of an era. Despite his victories on the battlefield, Alexander was more than a conqueror. He was a visionary, a man ahead of his time. In his wake, he left not only conquered territories, but also a legacy of enlightenment and cultural exchange. He dreamed of a global empire, where Greek culture would merge with the traditions of the lands he conquered, sharing in an era of unity and enlightenment. However, Alexander's conquests were for more than just power. He aspired to unite cultures, ushering in the Hellenistic civilization. Alexander disseminated Greek influence all over the ancient world through art, architecture, and literature. His charisma was unrivaled, and his legacy expanded with each victory. Conclusion: Alexander the Great's story is more than just one of conquering. It is also one of unwavering ambition, intellectual curiosity, and humanity's invincible spirit. Alexander's legacy lives on. His military methods and leadership style influenced future commanders for decades. Today, we remember Alexander the Great as a visionary, an explorer, and a legendary conqueror. He left an enduring mark on history that will never be erased. His name will always be remembered. His triumphs were unrelenting, and his techniques were unrivaled. Alexander's military strength was not the only thing that distinguished him. His spirit was unbreakable, and he had an insatiable thirst for knowledge. This voracious need for knowledge shaped Alexander's great vision of a united world. Please like and subscribe for more captivating historical journeys.